Join us for a tour of the Audi e-tron GT, the final version of Audi's electric supercar. Let's go! It is very rare that we can see that a previous concept was basically one-to-one carried over to the final model. That's what's happened here. And we can see this single frame grille, but mostly closed because the electric vehicles obviously do not need so much cooling. Still, there's like an adaptive cooling in the lower area. And with the top RS model, there are also more carbon fiber accentuations, for example, right here. LED lights would be standard, optional, or standard here for the RS model. You get matrix LED, elaborated high beam function, and optional. Even optional here for the RS model. Here's the laser light, which actually doubles the high beam range. You can see these blue accentuations in, and of course, horizontally drawn. Really cool. We'll soon also take a look once again at this lighting effect with the cascading style. The length is at 4.99 meters, 16'4" or 196 inches. And you get a base model, which is called Audi e-tron GT. And here the RS model, the top model, is called Audi RS e-tron GT. I'm not sure why they did that, because when you just say like, GT RS, would have sounded cooler, wouldn't it? Tell me in the comments. Then wheels would start with 19-inch in the base model, 20-inch standard for the RS. These are the optional 21-inch wheels. And you get different brakes as well. There's a standard brake, then there's a tungsten carbide brake, like we know from Porsche. That is a standard then for the RS, and optional once again, the carbon ceramic brake we can see behind these here. And very interesting wheels, because the middle part here, or these are some different air blades to make it more aerodynamic. They are not from metal, they are from a special plastic compound, really stiff and also resisting the heat. What a bold rear. The light strip goes all over the vehicle, looks really fancy. And the only thing, what I just said, you see the RS got the special badge, and also then here carbon fiber in the lower part. Other than that, both versions will look pretty much the same. But well, impressive appearance. And if you thought, wait a minute, these technology details, didn't Thomas mention this in the recent Porsche Taycan Turbo S review? Yeah, exactly. And the reason is the so-called electric platform J1, Audi e-tron GT and Porsche Taycan, they are shared actually, so they share the technology. Just of course the looks, exterior and interior, and some of the details, they are definitely different. More to that when we continue through the review. And these are the turning indicators, cascading style. And I think in this case even more impressive, the cascading style here in the front. That looks even fancier. And also here at the side mirrors. So probably you just want to use the turning indicators all over the place just to catch some attention. And then there's also a special coming home and leaving home function with a so-called light show. Pretty fancy. It's special to the laser matrix LED, but you already get one in the normal matrix LED headlamps. So what about the battery and recharging? There's one battery size, 86 kWh net or 93 kWh gross. And here AC charging 11 kW standard, 22 kW option. I think they should have made it standard. And DC charging up to 270 kilowatt. That's of course massive. And the promised range is 488 kilometers or 300 miles. However, if you think about the Porsche Taycan and our experience, there we usually had some 300 to 400 kilometers, so 200 miles plus, depending on temperature and use case. And depending if you have the e-tron GT Quattro or the RS e-tron GT, either a horsepower peak of 530 horsepower or of almost 650 horsepower. Acceleration figures then are 4.1 seconds or 3.3 seconds to 1 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. And you can compare these power figures to a Taycan 4S and the Taycan Turbo. Top speed is 250 kilometers an hour or 155 miles per hour. The car key, nice. Here also then with the RS logo if you have the RS version. Door handles, good quality, and then frameless design, of course. You can have also insulation glass for the side windows, by the way, which is also here. See this double layer. So for the side windows and for the rear window, that's an option. For the front window, it's standard with the insulation. Then door closing sound, actually quite nice considering it's frameless. Then inside of the doors, everything wrapped tightly from design, microfiber inserts right here. Then also good quality in styling from the inside door handle. Galvanized tops here for the window levers, which have nice clicking sounds, pretty slim door pocket. e-tron GT badge for the paddle light. See here, that's cool, right? And then also the RS entry badge, if you have the RS version. Steering wheel, in this case also with the RS badge, flat bottom, perforated sides. But this steering wheel is also available with microfiber, which of course is better for the grip handle and so on, and also then animal-free. And talking about that, there are two different seat forms available. Either a normal sport seat, already with integrated head restraint, and this one here is the Sport Seat Plus, with a little bit more shoulder form in the area. And first time now in a premium Audi we get an animal-free interior. Not this one. They showcase the animal skin here once again because they're not very consistent in their presentation. But however, it is available with either a fabric on the middle part and then leatherette on the outside, or with Dynamica microfiber on the middle part and leatherette on the outside. So there's a special design package available both for the standard seat and also here for the Sport Seat Plus, so you can get it animal-free now if you want, but it's not standard. That's of course the reason why people still buy Tesla, because Tesla is consistent in their sustainability approach and Audi is not yet. But definitely a big step forward that you can get it now. Seating position, this is really Taycan-like, you feel that. And also when you control the steering wheel up and down, or in and out, this is like the lower part, this clip I would call it. This is the mechanism that Porsche is using and Audi usually does not. So definitely here for the first time you feel that this is basically an Audi Porsche. Interior overview, also very spectacular and reminds us really a little bit, spaceship alike. Nice illumination here with the e-tron badge and then the ambient lighting right there, and also towards the inside of the doors. That's really lovely. Of course, different colors are available. Carbon fiber here for the RS interior. We have a 10.1-inch touchscreen right here, and two more details to that, and 12.3-inch digital instruments right there. Different stylings, also different views available. Nice shifting pedals here too, and you can change something with the recuperation, for example. And take a look at the steering wheel. Heated steering wheel is available. Easy volume control at the steering wheel. Left side you control the digital instrument and the view and so on. Now there you could already see some recuperation modes being adapted. Then towards the middle part here, and this is like, thank God they did that, easy climate unit. This is also different to the Porsche Taycan. For the user interface, I would definitely prefer the Audi. Easier to put in the temperature and nice clicking sounds. More details to the screen, rear view camera, greater resolution. And you also have this 3D view. Yay! That looks fancy, right? Ooh. Oh, here you can also see how the car looks like when you have the grille in vehicle color. So this is not then at this vehicle. You also have different wheels, so they don't adapt the visualization to the wheels. This is also not the RS. We can really live with that. So this is then when it's not the RS model. Yeah, definitely very interesting to see. GPS looks like this, typical Audi style. This is the the range we have at the moment. This car is not fully charged, but that would be like the promised range. See this proximity outline. The Audi virtual cockpit, 12.3 inch, and you can change the views, have the map all over the place like this, or you can also individualize what you want to see right here. So this is all possible like this. Of course, not the real consumption figure at the moment. It's a show vehicle, and this hasn't been properly driven on the road. But there you can see how you can browse through this. And once again, the user interface definitely easier and better than in the Porsche Taycan. It's actually very well done. Then rear doors. Same design styling, also nice with the microfiber inserts, and you see there are not any gaps left or something, so a perfect build quality, even though this is here, one of the very early vehicles. You can see here in this foot area, they use so-called foot garages, the same way as Porsche does. What they do there, so the battery is placed in the bottom, but there where you have your feet for the rear passengers, they left some space that you can really put your feet there and don't get any problems. There is some kind of single seat design, but there is an emergency middle seat, so you can drive with 3 people in the rear, but of course not the most comfortable one. It's more thought out to be that you have 2 people in the back. The question is, does it also fit for tall adults? We have a long wheelbase of about 2.90 meters, and together with the foot garages, that indeed makes it possible that also tall people can get in the rear. Headroom wise, I mean, no one would probably put up the spine all the way, then I would hit the ceiling here. But when I leave my spine relaxed like this, I exactly fit in like this. It's also the same as in the Porsche Taycan. Well, since this vehicle has some kind of a spaceship atmosphere, I'll use my white lightsaber to check out the trunk. 405 liters in the capacity, and the length is just over 1 meter. The width in the more narrow part is a little bit more than 80 centimeters, and just you have more width right here. And short height here, 45 centimeters. I can put a backpack in here, and you see, you do get a problem when you have it like, pretty much in the front. This way I think it will not close. Let's see. No, it doesn't. So we have to put it more to the rear like this, and then it should actually work. Yeah, and the same we also had in the Taycan. So you see, it's not a fastback atmosphere. That's why they also will do the Taycan Cross Turismo, that you have a more practical opening. But here they went for a more, shallow, normal sedan trunk experience. And then here in the front, we have another 81 liters. So you can use it for some storage, but of course, it would be handy to put the charging cables in there. And now to our conclusion for today with the all-new Audi e-tron GT. Well, I think we can all agree that they stayed with the concept look, the concept car look, really paid off. It's an awesome design, so sporty, so bold, and really makes this transition from a classic supercar to an electric supercar, I think, pretty easy. When you think about the comparison to an Audi A7, by the way, this one here is a little bit wider, a little bit flatter, but has almost the same dimensions. It's, like with Porsche, a little bit the question of like Panamera versus Taycan, here A7 versus the e-tron GT. And I can tell you that driving fun-wise, this will be basically the same like we know from the Porsche Taycan, because they share the same platform. So it will be definitely, I can really promise you, a great driving experience, low center of gravity, 50-50 weight distribution, and of course, really powerful as for the drivetrain. One electric motor in the front, one electric motor in the rear one then with a 2-speed transmission. Again, exterior more rectangular look if you compare it to, for example, to the Taycan. Interior also with a high build quality and also reasonable space inside. Finally, there's also an animal-free version available. Just a little bit of pity that they didn't make it standard, just an option or a design choice to go for. But Porsche did actually the very same. So that is hopefully then the next step to make it also the standard choice. Overall, very interesting to see it right now here in the final version. Really looking forward to drive it for you, together with you. So far, there will be the comparable version like the Taycan 4S and the Taycan Turbo, here with the e-tron GT Quattro and the RS e-tron GT. If there will be more versions, a more powerful version, probably not. But I think we can also calculate with a rear-wheel-driven only entry version at some point. Then again, at the moment, about 100K in the entry price, 140K for the RS model. So there might be some cheaper version available at a later stage. But so far, of course, we'll keep you updated when we have the driving review ready. Looking now forward to your feedback to the Audi e-tron GT. And since they are somewhat similar, would you go for the Porsche Taycan? Also tune into the review of this one, of course. Or would you go for the Audi e-tron GT? And tell us why. See you in the comments. See you next time.